Hey everyone, welcome back to our daily creative challenge here on Adobe Live, and it's a party. Welcome to my birthday party, I guess. It's not my birthday. Thank you, Rogerio. Thanks everyone for joining us in the chat. If you don't know what the daily creative challenge is, I'll introduce it in just a moment. But before I start talking, I need some information from all of you. Since today's theme is creating a birthday card, I need to know whose birthday is coming up in the chat. Whoever has the closest birthday, we're gonna make a card for you today. And we'll do two, so the two closest birthdays, let me know. And don't lie, we can check these things. We have a robot. So if you are new to the Daily Creative Challenge, this is basically Photoshop boot camp for beginners, for people who wanna sharpen their Photoshop skills, or if you've ever wanted to make like a Facebook event illustration or design, or you've wanted to make some cool stuff for Instagram. This is where you're gonna learn the basics on how to make awesome things. Ooh, Jan Eric says August 12th. Okay. December 28th, Atif, that is not soon, but that is Adobe Live's birthday. So that's pretty cool. So maybe Adobe Live can let me know who has the closest birthdays, because I don't think I can keep it up in the chats. Oh, Sam! Awesome! Sam, happy birthday. We're gonna make one for Sam for sure, and then we'll grab one more to make a card for. If you want to join us for this Daily Creative Challenge, there's a couple of ways that you can do so, but the biggest one is to join us on Slack. This is how you find out what the challenge is every day. We post it bright and early. Specifically, Lee posts it. Thanks, Lee. So you get the challenge in the morning, and then you have the live show, which is now just a couple hours later. So the live show is basically us working through the challenge to get you inspired and to answer any questions. So if you want to join us on Slack, this is the link. And I'll actually show you Slack really quickly, just in case it's a mystery to you. This is what it looks like. It's nothing scary. We have a lot of people working on the challenge from yesterday. Got writer's block. When the good stuff costs too much, gotta have average Joes. So we worked with templates yesterday, designing our own coffee cups, making our own logos, laying out the type, and then using templates and smart objects to build a beautiful mock-up. Really cool. All right, so if you want to join us on Slack, click that link, bit.ly/dailyslack is the way you do it. You'll see the announcements every day the challenge is posted. You can also introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what you do, what you consider yourself, a newbie, an amateur, a professional. And we can also talk about random stuff like bugs that we notice in the applications. We can help each other with workflow questions, or just post pictures of our dogs. It's really up to you. Ooh, Eric, you posted early this morning? Awesome. And if you're behind, Anita, can you still post and review? Yes, of course. So you have until Friday. That's when our last challenge is. So we have a couple days left, and you can definitely catch up. People do 2 a day or 3 a day, or just do your best to get those done, and we'll give feedback as they come in. Alrighty, so today's challenge is to make a birthday card for a friend or loved one. We're gonna make one for Sam, because it's her birthday today, and another one. Okay, Jan Eric, we're gonna make one for you. Super cool. So first thing we're gonna do is go into Photoshop, and I'm just doing a 1080 by 1080 square. This is perfect for Instagram or just sending it in an email to a friend. And the way you're gonna do this is go up to File, New. You can pick from all kinds of different templates, sizes that is, or you can just type in over here 1080 by 1080, and the resolution could stay 72 because this is gonna live on the web. If you wanna print it out, maybe bump this up to 300. So we have our squares here, and we're not gonna do anything super complicated today. We're just gonna build a simple and beautiful design. First thing I'm gonna do is make a new layer by clicking the new layer icon down here. In the bottom right, create a new layer, and we're gonna fill that with a color. I was thinking something, well, what's Sam's favorite color? Do we know? Is she in the chat? I feel like she likes pink. Is she a pink person? Maybe like a magenta, like a dusty mauve. And I'm just going to use the Paint Bucket tool. G is the hotkey for that. And I'm going to just click. Now my layer is filled with magenta. I could also do Option Delete. That fills your layer with your foreground color. So let's fill this with magenta. Perf. We're gonna play with some smart shapes like we have been for the last couple days. This is a great way to add shapes and illustrations to your work without having to draw with a tablet or import any sketches. All we're gonna do is go over here to our custom shape tool. U is the hotkey. Go up here to our shapes, scroll around to look for one that works. I'm kind of looking for like a starburst shape. Here we go. And I'm going to click where I think is the center, hold Option and Shift, and drag out. I think that was literally the center. Good job, me. Alrighty. And I want this to be a little bit darker than the background, so we're going to change our blending mode to multiply. I'm going to turn the opacity down a little bit, so it's kind of tonal. Magenta on magenta. Ooh, Voodoo Val loves magenta and purple. You're kind of in that realm, Val. Very royal. Alrighty, so we have our beginning of our design. Now let's add some text so it can say happy birthday. I'm just gonna tap T, that's the hotkey for the text tool, or you can come over here and click the T. I wanna make sure my shape is not selected because I don't want to type within my shape. I wanna type on its own layer. Let's just do happy birthday. Nope. There we go. And let's add more of a hand lettering feeling to our type. We're gonna use a font that we've used a couple days ago. It is called Pacifico, and it's a nice kind of hand lettered looking typeface. This is a great way to add some flair to your type without actually having to whip out your tablet and actually hand letter anything. Gonna maybe offset it a little bit. I'm going to do Command T to make my transform tools appear, and I'm gonna grab the corner and rotate it a little. Now this is kind of hard to read. Totally get that. Let's change the color. I'm gonna highlight my text, go up to the fill color, and maybe do something kind of light. We're gonna keep this analogous. All the colors are gonna be similar, but not exactly the same. Alrighty. Yeah, you can install Pacifico from Typekit. Super duper easy. There's lots of beautiful typefaces on Typekit. Go check it out. Let's make sure Sam knows this is for her. So at the top, I'm just going to click to start typing to Sam, but I want to use a different typeface. Let's go for something a little more classic, like Dido. Grab our size and scale it down. Alrighty, I'm gonna try and center this with my smart guides. That's what those magenta lines that appear are. I'm gonna tap it down, do some eyeballing. Perfect. So this is really simple. This is clean design, but there's nothing really striking about it, I would say. So let's add a texture. First thing I'm gonna do is go back to our custom shapes. I'm going to grab a star, as if there's a little gold star sticker on here. I'm going to click and drag, hold Shift to make sure it is constrained to be a perfect star. And I don't want this one to be magenta, but you will see how I edit the colors in a moment. We are going to add an external texture. So I'm gonna open up my texture that I'm talking about. It is gold, almost like a foil. And I'm gonna grab this by holding Option and clicking, making a duplication of it. Drag it into my canvas. And then this is a new trick that we haven't used yet in the last couple days, so stick with me. I'm gonna make sure my star layer is selected. You'll see this little star right here. Make sure this is selected. I'm gonna hold Command and click on the thumbnail. So hold Command, you'll notice this little marquee box appears when I do so. Click that, and that will select all of the pixels within this layer. Now we're gonna go back to our gold. You'll see that it is still highlighted. You can still see the marching ants. Make sure your gold layer is selected, and we're gonna go down here and click on the layer mask icon. Click. Your shape is filled with the gold texture. It looks like a gold star has been applied to your birthday card. And now it's a little more fun. So I'm gonna just grab this, Maybe size it up a bit. Maybe even more. Cute. I like it. Izzy says neat. Neato. I agree. So let's finish out the last bit of kind of fun texture on this, and then we will start another one. The last thing I'm going to do is make a new layer. Going down here, clicking new layer, and we're going to play with some brushes to add some more texture. I have the Kyle T. Webster Mega Pack loaded in my brushes. If you have Adobe Photoshop CC and you click on your brushes, go up here to the cog and select Get More Brushes, and that will allow you to download the Mega Pack as well. So within the special effects brushes, you see that here, special effects brushes, I'm going to choose one of these spatter brushes. I'm going to size up my brush by just hitting the bracket key to the right a couple times. I'm going to make sure the magenta of the background is chosen, and I'm just going to click. But before I do that, actually, let's change our brush mode to overlay, or maybe screen. Oh, I get why it's happening, because I'm choosing a darker color. Let's brighten this up a little bit. Boom. Okay, here we go. And you'll notice a fun texture kind of gets spattered onto the background, almost like this is a watercolor or on watercolor paper. Oh, hey, Sam in the house. Happy birthday. I'm going to print this out, and I'm going to bring it to you at your desk, and you have to keep it there for the next 365 days. So I like this texture, although I don't like how it's appearing on this starburst as well. I think it's a little bit distracting. So let's grab our spatter layer and drag it below this. Perfect. I'm going to increase this multiply a little bit. And there we go. It's a little less distracting, it's a little darker. Perfect. The left bracket is to make the brush smaller. So check this out. I'm on my spatter layer and I hit the right bracket, and you'll notice my brush is getting bigger, and the left, my brush is getting smaller. Really, really helpful, especially if you're digital painting and you are painting on the fly. All right, cool. So we have our first invitation. I'm gonna move down the type, the to Sam a little bit. Alrighty, let's get this exported and we will start a new one. This is the way that you're going to save it from Photoshop, put it on your computer, so then you can upload it onto Behance at the end. Michael Shea says happy birthday. And it looks like he's singing it, so maybe he needs to sing happy birthday live on stage. Wait, Michael, you didn't make that, did you? No, that's some copy pasta. Atif, I'm not going to sing right now. If you weren't here for the previous stream, I had a bit of a cough attack. Throat's a little raspy. But Atif, you're welcome to sing and send it to us. All right, let's export this. We're going to save it in our DCC Photoshop folder. I'm going to rename it Sam Birthday, save it, and we will export it when we get our second one done. Alrighty, perfect. Let's make a new document for our second invite, or our birthday card. We're going to resize it to 1080 by 1080. Keep it at 72 because this is going to live on the web and not be printed out, hopefully. And Jan Eric, here comes your card. Alrighty, so I have a few thoughts for this. I want to use text as illustration. Stick with me. First thing I'm going to do is type out a bunch of eyes. Like I said, stick with me. Lowercase i's. And if I change this to, I think I want to use Arial Rounded. If I change it to that, and I spread it out a bit, and maybe add another one. Maybe make it even a little bit bigger. Decrease the kerning again. Don't you think that these kind of look like birthday candles? I think so. It's a nice, very graphic designer friendly design using letters as illustration. So these are my birthday candles, and I'm just gonna type a simple happy birthday underneath. but let's change the typeface to Bebas. Decrease the kerning and decrease the size. Spread it out a little bit more. This is where the play comes in, the eyeballing it. And maybe even decrease the type size a bit more. We want the birthday candles to really stick out. Be the first thing you see, the primary thing in the hierarchy. All right, we're gonna center it. Awesome. Chris, what did you learn? He says, I just learned something. Let us know. Vroom. What's that mean, Jan Eric? Am I too quick for you? Alrighty, so we have our birthday candles, we have happy birthday. This would be a super minimalist design to send over to Jan Eric. But let's change some colors. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate my eyes layer by just clicking and dragging it down to the new layer icon. I'm gonna turn one off. This is just kind of like insurance. I just wanna save this for later in case I wanna change things. And for the one that is a copy, I'm going to right click on it and click rasterize type. This is gonna turn my type into just shapes. So then I can erase things and I can't edit it anymore. These are just shapes now in Photoshop. Oh, he's 6 now? Jan Eric is 6 years old. I'd believe that. Just kidding. Okay, so we have our pixels here. Now let's change some colors. This is one of my very favorite things I love to do. This is a really nice digital painting trick. If we go up here, we're gonna lock our transparent pixels. That's this icon right here, right next to lock. Click on that. And then if I choose a different color, say a darker burgundy, and I turn this back to normal, it just paints within the shapes. If I unlock it and I paint, it paints everywhere. So keep that in mind. We're going to step backwards by Option Command Z. We're going to keep our pixels locked, and I'm going to change the color of these candles. There's a million different ways that you can do this, but this is just kind of a quick and easy way. Let's do one that's kind of like a nice orange. I just have a nice round brush. Just grabbing my saturation slider, sliding it down. Let's maybe go into the salmon territory. Do one of these. Maybe something a little bit more red. Do one of these. And let's throw in a pop color, which I think should be like blue, a light blue. There's one. Up the saturation, decrease the brightness. Cool, I like that. Feels fitting for Jan Eric. Oh, that's cool, thanks. Ooh, Karen, you also like lock pixels. Yes, one of my favorites. Also, one thing I want to point out is you can have a bunch of different options over here for what kind of sliders that you want. This is the HSB. It's my personal favorite. It's the hue, saturation, and brightness, or the amount of black that's in it. You can also have CMYK sliders, so you can make sure your colors will be okay for print, grayscale sliders, etc., etc. I just like HSB because it helps me with my values. All right, let's change these top eyes, or I think they're called the tittle of the eye. We're gonna change it to a nice flame color. Try out a bright yellow. That's fun. Let's up the saturation a bit, move it more towards orange, almost like a marigold. More saturation, back towards yellow. I like it. All right, now before we're done with this, let's add one more small element. We are going to make a a square selection. I'm going to choose fixed ratio 1:1 because I just want this to be a square. I'm going to click one corner, hold shift and drag. Actually, I don't have to do that because it's 1:1. I'm just going to drag out a perfect square. Now do shift command I to inverse my selection, invert it. You'll notice when I do that, now the inside is selected. When I invert it, now this outside edge is selected. And let's play with some gradients. Let's make a faux gold border. So first we used a gold texture, but now we're actually going to kind of fake it and see how it works out. I'm going to use my gradient tool. It is hiding under the paint bucket tool. So if you hold G, tap it, the gradient might appear, or if the paint bucket appears, just hold Shift G to cycle through. Alrighty, let's click and drag from a corner. Nice, kind of looks metallic, kind of looks foiled. Let's maybe bump this more towards orange. Click and drag from this corner, maybe just to the middle. That's nice. Let's change our mode to screen, go more towards a light yellow, and just go from the middle to here. That'll lighten things a bit. And let's go back to a very bright yellow. Cool. I like this. It's kind of a faux, very stylized and flat gradient. And I don't want to forget Jan Erik's name. It's very important. Spread this out a bit. Make it a little smaller. Oh, it's okay. Thank you. I'm gonna actually get rid of this exclamation point. Move it around. Decrease the kerning a bit. Do we like? How do we feel? Jan Erik, do you approve? Sorry about the misspell. I know you would never do that to me. Okay, I like this. Let's export it. Export as. We've done quick export as PNG before. We've done the export as where we can choose our different formats. Let's just keep it a JPEG, keep the quality at 100 since it's not very large and it's only 72 PPI. Let's export it. Go to our day 7, and this will be called sweet. Thank you, MD. Birthday. Save. Alrighty, this is probably the most important part of all of these daily creative challenges. Let's get this exported like we did and uploaded to Behance. Behance is an amazing way to share your creative portfolios. This is all of the submissions we've had so far for this daily creative challenge, which is quite amazing. We're gonna go to mine, we're gonna update it. I see it right here. I'm just gonna click edit of the project that we already have because we don't need to make a new one for each different day. Let's keep them all in the same one. We'll go to edit. We're gonna scroll down through all of our previous days. Look how beautiful. Very saturated. I'm impressed. We did social media avatars. This is our coffee cup from yesterday. And let's upload our day 7 birthday cards. Here we go. It's important to stay organized with these because you are going to be making a ton of work. You don't want to lose any of it. And this is cool. They're stacked on top of each other, but I want to make a photo grid. It might be a little bit easier to read. So let's delete this image. Delete this image. And instead of doing just upload media, let's go to photo grid. Upload files. We're going to choose both of them again by holding shift and clicking them both. And this will put them right next to each other. This is the customability you have with your Behance projects. Now let's write, this is day 6 or day 7. Birthday cards. Save. And one really important thing is to make sure that you have the correct keyword selected. So in your settings, click on the Discoverability tab, go to Keywords, and make sure you have PS Daily Challenge entered there. That's how we're going to be able to check out your work. If we just search that keyword, it's almost like a hashtag. It will appear together with everyone else's. We're going to save it. And then if we go to my portfolio, let's look at it. And there it is at the bottom. Awesome, so that's it for day 7. Make sure you come back for day 8 for a new challenge. We have Emily and Chris coming up next to finish out the graphic design streams for the day, so stick around for that. And happy birthday, Sam And Jan Erik, early happy birthday to you. Take care, everyone, and stick around. Bye!